Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's One Piece Treasure Cruise video, we are going to break down the two new upcoming legends, V3 Marco and V3 Olin, which are actually pre-anniversary units on the road to the 8th anniversary of One Piece Treasure Cruise, which will arrive May 12th. I would highly advise you to start saving your gems for the anniversary, because this one, since it is the Japanese anniversary, will be an actual anniversary and not the lie of the anniversary for the global version, quote unquote. But saving for the anniversary is probably the best idea right now, especially until we learn what will exactly happen and what characters will be featured. Let's now break down Marco. He will be a Psy legend, the third version of Marco, and his captain ability goes as follows. -1 cooldown at the start of the adventure. For Psy, Fighter and Powerhouse characters we have an attack boost for 4.75 times, or a 5 times attack boost with matching orbs, which is actually pretty good. 1.4 times HP boost, decent. Crew will treat int orbs as beneficial, very nice if we take into consideration that Marco is a Psy unit. And when the crew has end of turn healing buff active on the next turn, you are going to trigger his special, which we are going to see very shortly. On top of all that, a 2.25 times Pirate XP boost at the end of the quest, so technically this is the new and way better version of Jack. Now let's see his special, which can also be triggered from his captain ability as we saw, but only once per quest. The special says -1 cooldown to crew, 80 times character's attack in typeless damage to all enemies that will ignore any defensive ability, heals for 10,000 HP, and for 2 turns he boosts the attack of Psy, Fighter and Powerhouse characters by 2.5 times. After 1 turn has passed, for 1 turn he will give a 1.4 chain boost, which is awesome. A very straightforward character, he is very decent, and in my opinion, a way better character to be an EXP captain than Jack. I know a lot of people love Jack and they love farming levels and all that stuff, but I always hated it, especially because Jack, in my opinion, is very bad as a legend. Now with his super evolution he is better for certain, but before he was just useless in every way other than the EXP farming. But with Marco you can farm EXP, but he can also be useful in other quests, which is something I like a lot. For his special, the 2.5 times attack boost for the specific classes and color is great, and even the chain boost is awesome, which of course applies to any kind of team, not only to these specific classes and color. He is actually a Psy super type unit, and his condition to activate the ability of the super typing is when the crew consists of 5 or more fighter characters, so he can be pretty restrictive, but then his super type special, if you manage to achieve this condition, 80 times characters attack in typeless damage to all enemies, and more cooldown reduction to fighter characters, but also end of turn healing for 2 turns, meaning from his captain ability, if he is captain, his special will also automatically activate. This Marco can have pretty interesting combos if you manage to have a team with 5 fighters. At least we do not need a full fighter team consisting of 6 fighter units, something that gives us a little bit of team building flexibility, which I like. And the combos can be, for example, if you manage to activate his super type, then you have end of turn healing, which will automatically trigger his special and will give you an attack boost. Then the next turn or the next stage you will get a chain boost, and you can actually activate Marco's special to also get an attack boost. And all of that can come with only one Marco captain, not with him as double captain. Not everything is great with him. I believe that only 1 turn of special cooldown reduction is not the best, especially because he resists it for 5 turns with his sailor ability. 2 turns would be way better in my opinion. And on top of that, the healing he provides for a Marco unit is not exceptional. It is decent, I guess, especially with his super typing along with his special, but only 10,000 HP is not a huge deal. If he provided more and maybe also allowed overheal, he would definitely be better. His support at level 5 is also interesting though, because on the final stage he can provide you with a 0.7 chain boost, which is nice for a support especially, and he can be attached to Whitebeard, Ace, Josu and Vista. Overall, this Marco is definitely an EXP captain improvement over Jack, and at the same time he can be very good in fighter teams as a captain, but also as a sub with the boosting he provides. He is not a utility unit, so even though he can provide healing and some basic utility, he cannot remove debuffs or defensive effects from the enemy. The other new legend is also a third version of a specific character, and we are talking of course about Olin or Big Mom. This is an int unit, and her captain ability goes as follows. Int and Psy characters get an attack boost for 4.75, 1.5 times HP boost, which is very good. Int and Psy characters with a Semla orb get an attack boost for 5.25 times, while Psy and Dex orbs will become Semla if Olin is captain. The crew will treat Semla orbs as beneficial, and at the start of the quest you can activate her special automatically, just like Treasure Map Mugiwara 56 Sanji or V1 Kaido. Of course, Semla orbs will also be consumed automatically with the perfect, like we have seen in other Big Mom units like versus Big Mom. What does her special do though, because it activates automatically? You can cut 20% of all enemies' HP. For one turn, you can boost the orbs of Int and Psy characters by 2.5 times, pretty strong. You can change all orbs including block to Semla. And the final part of your special, you trigger a special preemptive and you get end of turn damage for 99 turns. What is the special preemptive though? At the start of each stage, you cut the HP of all enemies by 20%, and at the end of each turn you do 500 times the character's attack in int damage to everyone, and for one turn you inflict them with paralysis, you reduce one turn of percent damage reduction and also threshold on all of your enemies. This is actually pretty good, because this is V1 Kaido with the damage, but with an int version of Kaido since he is Dex. You also get a full board of matching slots, even through block slots, an orb boost, and then she can also provide utility. She can remove percent damage reduction and threshold on enemies, while also giving them paralysis. Of course, not possible in every quest, but especially for the utility, if you have her as double captain, removing 2 turns of defensive effects is actually not bad for something that will happen automatically. On the contrary, it is actually very good. Just like we saw with V3 Marco being an improvement over Jack, this Olin seems to be an improvement over V1 Kaido. She is also a super type unit, an int one, and for her condition, Katakuri Cracker, Smoothie, Perospero, Daifuku, Oven, Amand, Opera, Brulee, Mondor, Galette, Bavarois, Pudding or Flampe needs to be on your crew, pretty much some of your main children that have units in OPTC, and her special, if you fulfill said condition, goes as follows. 75 times characters attack in typeless damage to all enemies, and for one turn, she can boost the attack of int and Psy units by 2.25 times. So we can all understand that she is way stronger than V1 Kaido, simply because she has a super type, she can boost your attack and orbs, she can give you a full board of matching slots, and then some extra utility, and of course healing as well with the whole Semla mechanic. Even her sailors actually help you with matching slots, because she makes RCV and Semla beneficial for everyone. She also has a support at level 5 on the final stage. Change the orb, including block, of the supported character to Semla for one turn. The crew will treat RCV and Semla orbs as beneficial, and she can be attached to her kids, the same ones that can activate her super type condition. I love this support because in many situations, if you just have one matching slot in the final stage, it can really help you with your run. And I also like the unit in general. I believe she is pretty strong, probably stronger than Marco, but we still need to remember that she only boosts int and Psy units, and even though she can be a speedrunning captain, she does not give special cooldown reduction like V1 Kaido does. Is she on paper a better unit? 100%. But is she gonna replace Kaido completely in every situation? Most likely not, simply because we need to consider that he is Dex, she is Int, so depending on the color of the final boss, you might choose the one over the other, and of course depending on what you need based on damage boosting and also utility. But of course, Int and Sai only are boosted from Olin, Striker and Powerhouse are boosted by Kaido. These two can also work together most likely, but Kaido won't be boosted by Olin, even though Olin will be boosted by Kaido, and he also won't be getting the super type. And if you are to team build a full boosted team around these two units, it might be kind of tough for you to do, depending of course always on the difficulty of the quest at hand. To conclude, are these two new legends worth to pull for? Generally, even though they are good units, I would advise you to save for the Anniversary Sugofest simply because they will probably be available there, for one, and for two, that Sugofest, the anniversary one, which will be coming in approximately 2 weeks, it will most likely be a Super Sugofest with new characters that are also Super Sugo characters. This is not confirmed, but it is very likely to happen, like it happened in the last year's anniversary for Japan as well. The debut Sugos lately are also garbage, so I'm not expecting much from the V3 Marco and V3 Olin Sugofest, even though we do not know the full extent of the information for that Sugo yet. I would also love to learn about your opinion on these two units in the comments down below. Which one of the two do you like the most? V3 Marco or V3 Olin? Tell me down below, and if you enjoyed this breakdown video, definitely leave a like, I would really appreciate it, and subscribe to the channel for more One Piece Treasure Cruise content. Thank you so much for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.